Alright guys, making a video reluctantly here. Not really feeling it today. I'm making this on Sunday. I had a bunch of plans. That's what I was looking at, my notepad. I had a bunch of video ideas, still do, that I wanted to make, but this 9 to 5 is making it really hard for me to get the motivation between, going to the gym, going to the stupid grocery store like doing all these things near the end of the week, like being a full-time 9 to 5. It really sucks. I forgot how bad, basically how much of your life is just consumed, and then when you finally just sit down and you just like don't want to move, you're just like, I want to sit here and just play a video game or watch a movie or whatever, which I have done this weekend. So that's what I ended up doing all yesterday, Saturday. I was just like, I don't want to do anything today, and so I'm just going to kind of sit here. But, I'm still wanting to push for the 5 videos a week, but I don't know, guys. Like, it feels like I'm just making slop. And also, this is not against you guys in particular, but I'm not getting the views that I want, or even the views that are even reasonable. And I don't think it's you guys. I think it's the YouTube algorithm. I might have to consider maybe starting a new channel at some point, because this channel is so old and it has all this different stuff, right? It has Eagles content, video game content, whatever, right? I think YouTube, 1, they punish political talk like what I do, and then 2, they punish if you don't have a niche. But I'm also stubborn, and I don't want to make a new channel because that's just how I am. So that's kind of an update for you, but I won't ramble too long. This video does have a topic, and why I was looking at my notebook here is I basically over the week, what I've been doing to just kind of remember topics to talk about, during the day-to-day grind of work, is I kind of just write stuff down. I started bringing this notebook to work and just kind of writing down ideas. And then it's usually Friday night or every evening, I from about 5 to 7, I usually will listen to a podcast or two to kind of unwind. Believe it or not, that's kind of how I unwind from the day, is I listen to podcasts and stuff like that. And haven't been reading as much lately. It's a little bit depressing. The last book I read was 2 weeks ago. It was that Orthodoxy, Religion of the Future. And then I started The Soul After Death by these are Seraphim Rose books. Seraphim Rose, sorry, if you guys are wondering. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. So this book, or this video, I'm just gonna, and I might do this weekly. I was thinking about doing this weekly. This is gonna be slop, but I feel like to grow the channel, I'm gonna have to do some slop. I can't just do, I'm kind of taking the academic agent approach. He does, I think he does 5 videos a week. I can't remember. I think he had the plan to do that, but I'm not sure if he still does that. But he kind of does regular shows, and then more off the cuff shows. So I'm thinking for Monday, and I do want your guys' feedback if you guys are watching these videos, if you guys think this is a good idea. But I was thinking Monday would be all about clown world or modernity, the spell of modernity, something I always talk about, which, by the way, I watched a movie recently called Weapons, and that movie actually was my thesis on film, to be honest. The movie that got me thinking about this, just a real quick aside, was the movie Prisoners. You guys remember that movie? Back in, gosh, I don't remember, 2013, I want to say, was when that movie came out. It was one of Denis Villeneuve's early movies. He's the guy that went on to do the Dune movies now, and he did Blade Runner 2049 and things of that nature. But yeah, I won't talk too much about the spell of modernity on this video, but I might have to make a whole video about that Weapons movie. I don't know what to title it though, because it's not an end of Hollywood movie. There are still good Hollywood movies that are being made, even though they have the modern issues. Every now and then, you'll get like a Long Legs, you'll get like a good movie. So anyway, this is going to be an experiment. I'm going to test out, I don't know, like I said, what I'm going to call it, Clown World update, I guess. I'll do like I said, I haven't decided if I want to keep doing 5 a week. So if I only do like 3 videos a week, this will be kind of like an update video of the previous week. And then I'll have like 2 other topics for the week. So something like that. I'm kind of trying to figure it out. And I'm going to schedule the videos later as well. That way if I need to film a video after work, I'll have time, because I get off work at 5, and so if I schedule the video for like 8 o'clock, then yeah. Anyway, sorry, 6 minutes in, I'm rambling. If you guys think any of this is a good idea, let me know down below. Also, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. Please like the videos, comment down below, share the channel. It's really helping. The algorithm is doing me absolutely 0 favors. In fact, I think it's literally suppressing certain videos, because I'll release a video, and I've communicated many times, like, when I release videos, and it doesn't matter, it will still get no views for like sometimes days. And yeah, there's one video I released 2 days ago now, about the whole Sarah Stock, internet jealousy thing. It has like 2 views. So I'm making these really long videos and they're getting like no views. So again, I'm not saying this is your guys' fault. It's just that YouTube definitely is winning with the motivation game right now, because I have limited time as is. So anyway, the 3 topics on this video here are going to be the wildfire Canada forest ban, and I'll get into that. And then we've got this UK child, you could say, grapist, set free, right? So the UK has been releasing these questionable people. And then we've got people literally going to horny jail, I'm not making this up, in the UK for wearing booty shorts, right? So I should rephrase on that one. The female officers are dressing scantily clad, and then if men catcall or anything like that, you could actually get fined and thrown in prison for that. So it's now literally become a crime to flirt with women. So we'll start with the forest fire ban, and I'm probably going to make this lady, she was just, the physiognomy alone tells you everything, but she was so exhausting to listen to that I'm going to probably make her face the thumbnail of this video, because that's what I'm going to have to do. If I'm going to do this Clown World thing, I'm going to have to do like I'm going to have to do really good thumbnails of just like the utter state of modernity. So yeah, this first one is basically in Canada right now. I can't remember the province, because like I said, I listen to this stuff during the week, and I'll probably start taking better notes as this idea develops for Clown World. But basically what's happening is they're using climate change to say that people can't go out and walk in the woods. Like they're actually saying, this whole video was like, this lady was saying, like, if you get injured in the woods, and I think she works for like the park forest ranger, whatever it is in Canada, right? The people that are supposed to rescue you, like if something bad happens while you're out in nature, they're supposed to be the ones that come and rescue you. But she's basically saying, like, due to climate change, if you go out and you get injured, like, you've taken this risk on yourself, and we're not gonna protect you, right? And they're using the excuses like, oh, you could start wildfires, or you could again, climate change, right? Your carbon emissions are going up. Like, I wish I was making this stuff up, guys. I thought, again, this is just going on, this steamroll. Trump did not do anything. And again, I'm not saying that Trump should have, he's not God Emperor, but this whole thing that started in 2020, like, it's not going to end. It's just going to get way, 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 way worse. And I might make a video about Nick Fuentes. I've been thinking about it, because some interesting developments with him as far as a lot of the future of politics goes, we'll just say. Because I'm kind of done using the whole right-left thing like I talk about on here. I don't like the dialectic. It's a trap. They want us to do it because if we're fighting over, it's like sports. It's just like my team versus your team. So this whole agenda, 2030 agendas going forward, and this Canada thing is very emblematic of that. So that was ridiculous, and I don't even know this lady's name. Like I said, I'm so unprepared because I'm so busy that I'm just kind of making these videos on the fly. So I apologize if you guys need like video clips and all that stuff. You know, maybe one day when I have the money, I'll buy some decent equipment, so I can do that better. But I don't have anywhere. That's why I come out here to film. I don't really have anywhere to film videos right now, like where I can do it consistently and in like a decent setting. So that's the first story, guys. Basically, in Canada, if you go out and you try to be in nature, right? If you do what I'm doing right now, they can actually arrest you, right? We saw this during COVID too. This is when I stopped backing the blue. I've been in arguments with a lot of my pro-police friends actually over the years, but essentially the police are just Alexander Solzhenitsyn talked about this in the Gulag Archipelago. The police are just a government organ. So if your government's corrupt, then the police are corrupt. They're not necessarily corrupt as individuals, but by following the orders of the corrupt government, they are actually complicit. So I don't back the blue right now because they're corrupt. Like right now in DC, right? Like what is the real reason for this, right? Everything Trump does at this point is just for our certain friends over in the Middle East over there. Trump doesn't actually give a damn about, I should rephrase that. Trump does give a damn. He does care about the country, but he's such a boomer that he's unable to step over his own brain and actually do what's necessary to fix the country. So all these gestures that you see, like Washington, D.C., we're going to crack down on crime, it's just because the noticing, we'll say, has gotten so high that they just have to disguise it. I've discussed this in other videos. You know what I'm talking about if you've been watching the channel. They have to find clever ways to disguise it so that they can basically co-opt both parties, right? This is why the right-left thing is meaningless, because we are an occupied government. But that's neither here nor there. So I'll go to the next topic here. And this one I'm going to have to... I got to come up with words. Jay Dyer's really good at this. He comes up with words for censoring himself to where YouTube doesn't know what he's talking about. But I don't know. We're so clownish now. We're going so clown world. Like this is not really a story, but I'm noticing on Vudu. Like I buy a lot of movies on Vudu. They're starting to put like warnings at the front of movies, or they're just outright deleting scenes that are like racist or sexist or whatever. Like we're already in the dystopia, guys, where like media you've bought can be like censored and changed. They did this with video games recently, actually. I'm playing, I did an unboxing for this, but I'm playing Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. And I noticed this because when I play Dark Souls type games, I like to farm, I like to over prepare for the bosses. That's how I've always been. So there's these little enemies in the game. They were like these Chinese peasants that would like fall over, and they had these like baskets of ashes or something on their back. And if you came after them, they would fall over and their ashes would like fall out, and you could get like a status ailment, whatever. So the Chinese government got upset. Apparently, this I didn't know any of this till just barely. There's this release that came out, update 1.5 for the game Wu Chang, right? This is just illustrating my dystopia point about how they're just gonna continue to censor things now. This goes into what I talked about last week too, with the whole Online Safeties Act, and I'm probably going to make a whole nother video about it because there's more to it than that. But it's all coalescing into this, where they're going to try to put the genie back in the bottle of the internet. So in this Wu Chang game, you could basically kill these guys. They were like peasants, whatever. They were enemies technically, but because the Chinese government got upset, they were like, I can't remember exactly what the game is depicting historically. It's basically like a Bloodborne version of like a battle that happened in China, like a civil war that happened in China. And they did it in like a Dark Souls. It's a really cool game, actually. The boss fights themselves are kind of like piss poor. Like whenever I play a game that's not made by From Software, that's a Souls-like, it always just quite misses the mark. But it's still a good game. But basically, you could kill all these NPCs. There were certain bosses that you would kill and they would die. But they updated it so that now you can't kill them. They don't die. Certain NPCs don't die because they have like certain historical figures that you fight in the game, I guess, like generals, things like that. And then you can't kill any of the peasants or the women anymore. They still have the brides that you can kill. There's like these psychotic brides, but yeah, I noticed there's just a lot of enemies you can't kill, and it actually like ruins the farming. Like there was a whole section in areas where you could kill a bunch of these peasants and it would make like leveling up easier because they were pretty easy enemies to kill. But now you just go through the areas and they just sit there and cower and you can't interact with them. So that's another good example of the censorship that's going on. And so that's the dystopia. But yeah, this next one is like I said, I'm gonna have to. We're sometimes I'm buying time, so we're 16 minutes in. Maybe the algorithm won't pick this one up. But this one has to do with UK, and yeah, they are of questionable, we'll say, how do I word this? If I say ethnicity, YouTube's going to know. So you guys know what I'm saying. They're not law-abiding citizens, if we'll say, right? These are culturally enriched. It's cultural enrichment at its finest. Anyway, they are child rapists, right? PDF files supported by the LG HDTV community. They're being let out of prison. They're just being set free. So they go in. Their crimes are known. They're just saying, okay, well, you're back out on the streets, and then they keep doing it. So I'm not going to get too into that one, but that enough said. That is pretty self-explanatory. But then this last one, this one's just for fun. This is how I'm going to end the video, because I don't want to make these videos too long. I'm going to make them like 20-30 minutes from now on, unless it's like a philosophical topic. But this one is about this female officer's story in the UK. So apparently the female officers now, because we've got to have women in everything. They're wearing like booty shorts and yoga pants and really tight police outfits. Really, like they're just dressing very. They're not leaving much to the imagination. And so this also ties into what happened with the WNBA, which was really funny, where guys were throwing green dildos down on the court, and the WNBA is getting mad. I also thought that was funny that if you look at their jerseys, I use this at my job. That's why it's funny, because my job is very much this job now. Is the WNBA is sponsored by Salesforce, which that was just too much. I was like, this is too on the nose now. It's like, it feels like we're living in like a literal sitcom at this point. Sometimes like we're actually living in The Office. But yeah, this kind of ties into that of maybe that'll just be like a special segment of each of these videos, is just the absurdity of modern women. I don't know. It feels tired, and everybody knows women are out of control at this point. They're losing their minds. Like there's that recent story too of that little blonde girl. Like the moment she turned 18, she started an OnlyFans. It's so clownish, guys. It's so clownish. That story actually was so she started an OnlyFans the moment she turned 18, and then I think it's been like a month or so. Now she's complaining that she's being objectified online. And again, I'm not even blaming a girl like that. She's too young. It's like, this is just a symptom of the society. It's so, Like, again, the spell of modernity. That's my thesis for this channel really now, is that we're literally being controlled by demonic powers that, you know, even me, I'm like researching this stuff. None of us are prepared for what's coming down the pipe. It's almost impossible to be fully prepared for what we may witness in our lifetimes at this point, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good. I almost have nothing but pity for most of these cases now, except for things like the wildfire one is pretty malicious because these are like older women, but the whole woman thing in general, it could be fixed very easily, but we'll just have to see. That's the biggest problem. But yeah, so I guess in the UK, like I said, if you I don't even know what it is exactly. If you look too long, or if you flirt with, or they already have this in the workforce, by the way. It's the most ludicrous thing ever. In the job world, right? Like, so I work at a job 40 hours a week. Now, there's no women at my job. There is one girl that's really attractive, but she's married with, I don't know if she has children. That's another tragedy. Yeah, you see these like gorgeous women that have husbands, and it's like, why are you here? Why the fuck are you sitting in an HR department office all day? Like, I think about these things all the time. It really bothers me when it's like, you are literally wasting, you are gorgeous. Like, why are you not having babies? That's what I always think about when I see women like that. But there's no girls at my particular situation, but they have like literal rules now. Like, this is the problem with HR and civil rights, all this. You can get like fired for like flirting with girls and being in relationship with girls, but it's like, it's the most absurd thing ever. It's like, if you're working 40 plus hours a week at a job, like, how the hell else are you supposed to meet anyone? Right? Like, I've shouted him out before, Raymond Thoughts in Mind. Like, he talks about how he when he worked at a corporate job, he used to just go and drink every day. I'm not an alcoholic myself. That's not my vice, but I totally can understand why someone would become an alcoholic in the 9-to-5 setting, because it's like, what the hell else do you do? You go to work all day, you know, you suffer and grind through the meandering monotony of it all, and then after the work is over, you what do, right? Like, you're all the productive hours of your day were spent, and now you're at home at like 6 p.m. and it's getting dark outside. It's like, the only thing to do is to go to a bar. I mean, that's what most people did during COVID too, especially like COVID. It was, for me, you know, I had family, friends at the time. Like, I still have that, but it was much more during that time. So I survived. Like, if another crisis like that happens, I'm kind of screwed. I don't know. But yeah, I can see why people drink, because it's gotten to the point, basically. This is what I'm getting with this UK thing, and it's getting to the point where men literally cannot flirt with women, or it's like going to become like an offense, right? If the woman is offended in any way, this goes beyond child support, this goes beyond marriage, this just goes beyond, if I as a woman get the ick from a guy, then he has to go to horny jail. It's that simple. I just watched this movie last night too. This is an older movie called Renfield. I'm not even going to make a review on it because it was so disgusting of a movie. I forgot, because I'd seen Birds of Prey and I saw the Barbie movie, which I might rewatch the Barbie movie. There might be something I'm trying to do with movies. Academic Agent talked about this. Is the movies clearly suck, but if you watch them as like leftist cell phones, they can be like good. But I watched this movie Renfield. I literally only watched it because I'm like a big Nicolas Cage fan. And it was a movie that I'd been putting off for a while because I had the suspicion. But I was like, I just have to watch it. Nicolas Cage plays Dracula. This is too much to pass. And I will say, every single scene with Nicolas Cage is pure gold. If you're a Nicolas Cage fan, it actually pisses you off on that level where you're thinking, this whole movie could have been about Dracula, but they made it about Renfield. Renfield, played by Nicholas Hoult. Which is funny because Nicolas Cage and Nicholas Hoult were in one of my favorite movies. It's called The Weatherman. It's an older Nicolas Cage movie where Nicholas Hoult plays his son. But it was kind of cool to see them together again. But this movie was so awful It was so awful that this Renfield guy was the most effeminate, useless male, and the whole movie was literally the therapy message of like, I am enough. That literally was the movie, and it had this. I didn't even know of this character until I watched it. This Aquafina Asian woman. Oh my gosh, guys! Every single scene she was in, it was just like the most soul-sucking, and she was in a lot of the movie. That's the flaw with this movie, is it was called Renfield, and so Nicolas Cage is only in the movie for maybe like 20 minutes, and this is like an hour 40 movie, and it's like every single character outside of Nicolas Cage was like not funny. I would say the mobster parts were maybe a little funny, but the Asian woman crap and Renfield himself, the therapy group, it was just so cringe. And if you guys have seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But this is what I mean. Like, it was the most girl boss. And it was made in 2023. I get it. That was like, I think 2022, 2023. That was like peak woke. But I couldn't believe it. Yeah, actually, this Renfield movie came out the same year as the Barbie movie. So, yeah, it was that year. 2023 was a really rough year for movies. But it's kind of what I'm getting at, is to kind of end this video, is we're so longhouse now that it's like you have to be gay as a man. MGTOW is like it's like the only option, right? Like I've criticized the red pill because I hate the conclusions, but you know, they have legitimate points. Like, if you marry a woman and she gets the ick, it's not really in America yet, but I look at these things like it's coming to America very soon. I don't know what's going to happen, guys. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm struggling to make videos because I have no clue what's going to happen anymore. My last video I made before this was talking about debating and how it's useless, and it's just like the time for discussion is over. There's no point in talking about women or any of these problems, because we need to start acting. We need to start fixing the problems. And until as the Old Glory Club calls it, that's a YouTube channel, by the way, you should check them out. They call when the boomers die, they call it the day of the pillow, which I always thought was a really funny metaphor. But until the day of the pillow, when the boomers all just start nodding off, like, this is not going to get fixed, because the boomers just have this belief that we have to protect the special people over there, and that's our entire foreign policy. So they're never going to fix any problems abroad. And yeah, that's basically it, guys. Like I said, I don't know when I'm going to make the next video. I'm probably just going to chill today again, because it's Sunday. Beautiful day out. I might make another video on like Wednesday, or you might see me make it in my car on my lunch break or something like that. But I have topics. Like I said, I could talk about Nick Fuentes. But I don't know. The main thesis is the spell of modernity. I want to have like a goal for the channel. And I do want to do movie reviews again. Not just shitty movies either, like all kinds of movies. And like I said, I did just go watch a movie called Weapons. I watched it Friday night, and it was decent. It wasn't great. It still had the problems where it's like, oh, we got to have comedy in here for no reason. You know, I call it the MCU problem. This Renfield movie was basically that. It was an MCU movie. Like, they just do this in everything now, and it's not funny. It's like they thought Pineapple Express was like the peak of filmmaking, and we should copy that for all time and eternity. Seth Rogen was the greatest inspiration ever. It started in like the 2010s, and it's just never ended. So, sorry, drinking a body armor here. So yeah, that's kind of the video, guys. I'm gonna end it here. We're at 30 minutes. Almost dropped the drink right there. We're at 30 minutes, and so yeah, I'm just gonna end it here. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. You know, hope you're staying sane out there. You know, let me know what you guys think down below, and thanks so much for watching. You know, all the stuff. I appreciate it. You know, I hate shilling, but I don't know. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.